all of the above.
That is correct. All of these options are important in order to safely enjoy water activities.
If you keep them in mind, you're bound to have a great and safe summer.
Stay with BEFM this summer for a responsible beach season.
The beautiful landscapes, the beach, the delicious food, I love 폐지'법, are some of the many things that make Busan a great city to live in. But it is the multicultural society and the warmth of its people that make Busan a really dynamic city. Hola amigos, my name is Jonathan Badillo and I am from Mexico. I arrived to Korea 3 years ago with a one-way ticket and now I study my master's degree at Busan National University. I fell in love with Busan way before even moving here. It all began with a weekend trip for me to realize this was the city where I wanted to live in. I moved here and I realized it was the right decision. From the moment I arrived to Busan, I felt very welcome and as if I was a Busan Saram already. Busan Saram, my God! There is so much going on in this dynamic city that it is so easy to get involved in one of the many activities to promote cultural exchange in Busan. I firmly believe that the greatness of a city lies within its people, which is what makes Busan the greatest city to live in. Global City Busan, we are in it together. This campaign was brought to you by BFM Busan 연구방송.
AI는 무엇이든 척척 만들잖아요. 그런데 AI가 되살릴 수 없는 소리도 있대요. 사라지면 다시 살릴 수 없는 대한민국의 푸른 자연을 지켜주세요. 공익광고협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
All anyone can talk about these days is a record-breaking heat wave, and unfortunately, it is expected to persist throughout this week. Yangsan hit a record 42.5 degrees Celsius yesterday afternoon, the highest temperature ever measured in South Korea. That's according to the Korea Meteorological Administration. Well, one factor that could either pull more heat and humidity toward the Korean peninsula or bring much-needed rain plus strong winds depends on Typhoon Dolphin. So we definitely need some relief from this unrelenting heat. And at the same time, we don't want people to be harmed by Mother Nature. Let's kick off another scorching hot Monday together. I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Monday, August 3rd on BEFM, 부산 영어 방송. Good morning, Wavers. I hope you had a good weekend, whether you spent it indoors like most of you, and me included, probably did because it was really, really hot. We're going to get into the details of just how hot it was across the country in a little bit. In the meantime, it's time for our text topic, so here we go. Did you do household tasks when you were young? What kinds of tasks do you have your kids doing? Assuming you have kids, of course. 자, 나는 어릴 때 집안일 심부름하면서 자랐다. 지금 아이가 있다면요. 아이에게 어떤 집안일을 시킨다. So those are our questions. Two prongs. So first, I want to know about your childhood. And if you do have kids, what your kids' tasks are like. So send them into BFM's live stream live chat on YouTube. Go to the YouTube platform and type in BEFM, 부산 영어 방송. And once you find our channel, you can log in and Subscribe, of course, first, and then you can chat with other waivers. From your phone, pound 9050, shop 9050. That's going to cost you 100 won. You can also reach me for free on Kakao Talk as well. Same thing there. Find our account first. Enter BEFM. Busan 영어 방송. Once you do, you can find our account, add us as a friend, and then you can send in your messages. The ways you can tune into Morning Wave in Busan on the radio, 90.5 or 103.3 FM. And that's if you're in the Busan area. We are streaming live on YouTube as we speak, so come check us out. Also available on the BFM app and the Papang app as well. Here is the lineup for today. We have Now in Busan with Jian, Haley and top stories for hour number 1. And hour number 2, it is Waggle Waggle Tea Time. For our Monday segments, we have Dr. Ryu Sang-hyo coming in for Ask Dr. Ryu. And then in hour number 2, just for a couple more weeks, we have AI Breakdown with Choi Jae-yu or Jay. That's coming up in hour number 2. For our special interview, we are going to talk about the extreme heat. We need to understand this summer's weather because it's been record-breaking. Every time we come in, we're like, we have another record-breaking day. So we're going to talk about this in hour number 2 with our expert. In the meantime, let's turn to Jian for Now in Busan. Good morning.
Happy Monday.
Yes, it is indeed. So I want to know from you about your childhood. Did you do a lot of household tasks? Did you do chores or errands like 심부름?
Like Simbrim, yes. My parents wanted me to do a lot, but I was the 누나, the K-장녀. So I made my brother, younger brother, 동생, to do all the chores.
So it's like a chain of command,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Your parents tell you and you're like, oh, you know.
Going down.
The chain.
Yes.
Chain of command. I
So
like.
it's my 동생 all the time.
Of course. Well, we're going to jump into Now in Busan. Busan has been dealing with extreme heat for days on end now. And it seems like the number of heat-related emergencies is rising quickly. What's the latest?
That's right. On August 1st, Saturday alone, Busan reported 12 heat-related emergency cases, the highest daily number so far this summer. In
Yes.
fact, those cases account for about 17% of all heat-related emergency responses recorded this year.
That's right. And what kinds of situations are emergency crews responding to?
Well, many people are collapsing because of the heat. In one case, a man in his 60s was found unconscious at his home after neighbors noticed he hadn't been moving since the morning. And his body temperature had risen to nearly 39 degrees, and he was taken to the hospital after receiving emergency treatment.
Yes, and why are we seeing such a sharp increase right now?
Experts say it's because the heat has continued for so many days without much relief. Last Saturday, on August 1st, Busan reached 37.3 degrees, while some inland areas came close to 40.5 degrees.
Right.
As the extreme heat continues, the physical strain on people is becoming much greater.
True, and there have also been some serious cases recently, right?
Yes, in fact, Busan has reported its first heat-related death of the summer. A man in his 20s with an underlying medical condition died after suffering a heat-related illness at home last week.
Yes.
And there have also been another emergency cases, including a woman in her 20s who became dizzy after spending just 20 minutes outdoors and was taken to the hospital.
And with this kind of weather continuing, let's remind our listeners what they have to keep in mind.
Of course, the most important thing is to avoid unnecessary outdoor activities during the hottest part of the day, drink plenty of water, and stay in cool places whenever possible.
Yes.
Older adults and people with underlying health conditions should be especially careful as they face a much higher risk during prolonged heat waves.
Right. Once again, a reminder to do all the necessary things to maintain good health. All right, next, Korea is facing a serious drought, and the government has called an emergency meeting. So what's happening?
Yes, drought conditions are getting worse across Korea, especially in the Busan, Ulsan, and Gyeongnam region. Over the past month, the area received only 68 millimeters of rain, which is just 22% of the usual rainfall.
Right.
Because of the growing concern, the government held an emergency drought response meeting with weather officials and local governments.
Yes, and why is the drought becoming so serious?
The biggest reason is the lack of rain combined with the ongoing heat wave. With very little rainfall and extremely hot weather, water levels in rivers and reservoirs have continued to fall.
Yes.
Officials are worried that the drought could last longer if dry weather continues.
So let's talk about the reservoirs. How are they being affected?
Several major reservoirs are already at low levels. For example, Miryang Dam is at about 34%, while Seomjingang Dam has dropped to around 27%. Unmun Dam has entered the government's highest drought warning level, and other dams are also under drought alerts.
Yes, and is the drought affecting local residents?
Yes, of course. Some island communities near Tongyang are already feeling the impact. Residents on Chudo Island, where people depend on rainwater and groundwater, are facing water shortages because there wasn't enough rain during the rainy season.
Yes.
Water is now being supplied on a limited schedule, and some people are even having difficulty using water for daily activities.
Oh, goodness. So what's the government doing to deal with this situation?
Well, the government is working to make sure drinking and industrial water supplies remain stable. It plans to use alternative water sources, reduce agricultural water use if necessary, and continue monitoring reservoir levels.
Yes.
Officials will also work closely with local governments until the drought situation improves.
Is there concern that the situation could get worse, though?
Actually, yes. Officials expect some reservoirs could move into a higher drought warning stage in early August if dry conditions continue. They say early action is important to prevent disruptions to water supplies and prepare for a prolonged drought.
Yes, yes. So definitely with a heat wave, the droughts, we all got to be careful. All right, next. Korea's first Arctic shipping route trial is expected to begin later this month. So what's the latest on this front?
Yes, the government is preparing for its first trial voyage through the Arctic shipping route. If everything goes as planned, a container ship will leave Busan later this month and sail through the Arctic Ocean to Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and the round trip is expected to take about 40 to 45 days.
So why is this trial voyage important?
Well, the Arctic route is much shorter than the traditional route through the Suez Canal. It can reduce the distance between Busan and Rotterdam by about 8,000 kilometers, or around 36%. The government sees it as an important step toward making Busan a major Arctic shipping hub.
And is everything ready for the voyage?
Almost, yes. Most of the preparations have already been completed. A Busan-based shipping company, Panstar, has been selected to operate the trial, and the ship and sailing schedule have also been finalized.
Yes.
The company is now preparing cargo for the voyage.
Yes, and what is the biggest challenge right now?
Well, the biggest issue is geopolitics. Most of the Arctic shipping route passes through Russia's exclusive economic zone, so the ship would need Russian navigation and weather services. And because of the international sanctions on Russia, the Korean government is still discussing the issue with its allies before giving final approval.
I see. And what route will this ship take?
The ship is expected to depart from Busan, travel through the Russian Arctic, and arrive in Rotterdam. On the way back, it will also stop at Hamburg in Germany and Gdansk in Poland.
Well, thank you for letting us know about Korea's first Arctic shipping route. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Haeundae, which has been selected as Korea's first global tourism special zone. What does that exactly mean?
Haeundae has been chosen by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism as the country's first global tourism special zone. Over the next 2 years, about 6 billion won in government funding will be invested to improve tourism services and develop new attractions.
Well, which areas are included in this special zone?
The zone covers many of Haeundae's best-known attractions. It includes Haeundae Beach, Songjong Beach, Gunamro, Nurimaru APEC House, Mexico, Dalmaji Hill, and the Busan Cinema Center.
Right. So what about the programs? Are there any new programs planned?
The city plans to offer special events through the year. There will be annual global cultural events, monthly programs at Dalmaji Hill, weekly night festivals, and daily tourism activities so visitors can enjoy something all year round.
Nice. And how will the city make it easier for international visitors?
Busan will introduce AI-powered twin 24-hour tourist information centers and a smart payment system for international visitors. The goal here is to help tourists enjoy Haeundae more easily without language barriers.
Yeah, so that sounds really convenient. But what about plans to improve safety?
Safety. The city will use AI-based CCTV systems to monitor crowd levels and help create a safer environment for visitors, especially during busy periods.
Yes, and what about accommodations? Because there have been complaints about hotel prices in the past.
That's right. So Busan City plans to sign an agreement with hotels in the tourism zone to help prevent excessive room price increases during major events. The city also plans to introduce a more personalized checkout system to encourage visitors to stay longer.
All right, that sounds very helpful. Thank you for telling us about this. And next, let's talk about Korea preparing to host a 2028 UN Ocean Conference. What's the latest on this?
The Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries has launched a joint government task force to prepare for the 4th UN Ocean Conference, which will be held in Korea in June 2028. The task force includes 4 government ministries and will oversee planning for the event.
Yes, so let's talk about the government agencies that are involved in all of this.
The task force includes the Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Economy and Finance, and the Ministry of the Interior and Safety. It will have teams focused on planning, infrastructure, and budgeting, and international cooperation.
Yes, so let's go over what the task force will do.
Its main job is to coordinate preparations for the conference. It will work closely with local governments, public organizations, private experts, and international partners to ensure the event is successfully organized.
Right, and why is the UN Ocean Conference such an important event?
Well, it's the largest global meeting focused on ocean issues.
Right.
Representatives from 193 UN member states, international organizations, and NGOs come together to discuss challenges such as climate change, marine pollution, and sustainable ocean development.
Yes, so do we know what's going to be discussed? I know it's like 2 years away, so people
Right.
might be thinking, that's so far away. But big events, they take a lot of planning.
Right,
So
but it's
what will
also
be discussed?
coming.
Yeah, what's going to be discussed?
Korea and Chile will co-host the conference, actually.
Okay.
And major topics are expected to include the use of AI in the maritime industry, the Arctic shipping route, and future international cooperation on ocean and maritime issues beyond 2030.
Right, and lastly, why is hosting this conference significant for Korea?
Officials say it will strengthen Korea's role as a global maritime leader. It also gives the country an opportunity to help shape international policies on oceans, shipping, and sustainable development.
All right, thanks for going over all the local news. Stay cool, and we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Jian.
Thank you.
And I'll be back with your traffic and weather. It's time for your traffic report. It is congested on 거제대로 from 함하정 intersection to 남문구 intersection. It's busy on KBS 3-way intersection to 동방 5-way intersection. It's also looking slow on the Namhae Expressway from 남산정 station to Deokcheon interchange. There's traffic building on Nakdong-Namno from Hadan intersection to Hagwon Bridge. It's currently 29 degrees Celsius in Busan under clear skies. It's going to go up to anywhere between 34 to 36 degrees Celsius depending on where you are. Busan is under a heat wave impact forecast, a heat wave warning, and a tropical night advisory. Across the nation, the severe heat is finally breaking somewhat in the eastern region, but the heat wave is traveling west, including the capital area. All of Seoul is under a heat wave warning, and a severe heat wave warning issued throughout parts of Cheonnam and Yeongnam. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for the morning brief. South Korea breaks hottest record with 42.5 degrees Celsius in Yangsan. The country recorded its hottest temperature ever in Yangsan, Gyeongnam Province at 42.5 degrees Celsius yesterday, and the number of heat-related illness patients surging across the country's emergency rooms. President returns home from Frankfurt after 5-nation trip. President Lee Jae-myung is returning home after a 5-nation trip with his final visit in Frankfurt, where he met with South Korean nationals living in Germany. Top prosecutor offers resignation after bill passes removing prosecutors' investigative rights. Acting Prosecutor General Koo Ja-hyun offered to resign shortly after the National Assembly passed a bill aimed at abolishing the prosecution's direct investigative powers, saying he takes responsibility for the passage of the controversial bill. KORAIL's takeover of SRT approved. The Fair Trade Commission yesterday approved the takeover of SR Corporation, the operator of SRT trains, by Korea Railroad, or KORAIL, saying the deal is unlikely to hinder competition in the transportation industry. Trump cancels Iran strikes subject to deal being made rapidly. U.S. President Donald Trump says he has canceled planned military strikes against Iran on the basis of rapidly reaching a deal on its nuclear program and the full reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. This was the Morning Brief. You're listening to hour number 1 of Morning Wave in Busan on this hot Monday morning. We have Haley joining us today. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're going to dive into top stories, and we're going to begin with President Lee Jae-myung, who has wrapped up his trip to the U.S. and South America. Let's go over the key aspects.
Right, so his last full stop was Argentina. Of course, he had a bit of a pit stop in Frankfurt, Germany. But in Argentina, he met with President Javier Milei in Buenos Aires, where the two agreed to strengthen their cooperation, especially on critical minerals. According to National Security Advisor Wi Sung-rak, South Korea will launch the import of crude oil from Argentina starting next year.
Right.
Actually, already South Korean corporations have a pilot program running right now at 880,000 barrels of crude oil from Argentina. It hasn't been yet determined how much the first batch of official imports will be next year. However, President Milei has announced that he is going to increase the country's energy export by 5 times the current level. So this will likely see a big boost coming into South Korea as well.
Right. And this goes in line with South Korea's intentions, right?
Right. So we said that this is actually a foundation for the country, South Korea, to expand its crude oil imports from South America, to really diversify its resources from the Middle East, saying that this could reduce geopolitical uncertainties. Also, the two sides agreed to expand their energy cooperation to natural gas and even to nuclear power. So to that end, the representatives signed MOUs, Memoranda of Understanding, on key minerals, and also preventing double taxation, which will reduce tax burdens for South Korean firms working out of Argentina. The two nations are also going to restart their Economic and Energy Supply Cooperation Committee to take follow-up measures and look for new projects.
Yes, and what about other geopolitical issues?
Interestingly, National Security Advisor Ri added that the two leaders did not make much mention of peace on the Korean Peninsula, which is different from President Lee Jae-myung's summit in Brazil. However, we explained that this is because Brazil has more of a relationship with North Korea, so this was a bigger issue.
I see. And so President Lee is headed home today. What have been maybe the key achievements of this trip?
Right, so he had a pit stop again in Frankfurt, Germany, meeting with South Korean nationals living there. But the overall goal of this 11-day trip was to establish AI alliance with American big tech companies, also to expand energy supplies with the global south. And the vision was to solidify AI cooperation and diversify diplomacy amid geopolitical and economic turmoil in the international community. So to that end, he made stops in San Francisco and had this AI declaration, which contains South Korea's AI vision as an irreplaceable key country in the AI supply chain. Also in Brazil, the South Korea-Brazil joint declaration to work together in rare earth minerals.
Right.
And also he had a cooperation model with Chile's President Jose Antonio Cast and crude oil cooperation with Argentina as a summary.
Yes. So thank you for the recap. Excuse me. And now to the South Korean National Assembly, where the controversial Criminal Procedures Act revisions that gets rid of the prosecution's rights to investigation.
Right, so that has passed. So under the now passed revised Criminal Procedures Act, prosecutors will no longer be able to conduct any direct investigations. The bill passed the National Assembly on Friday with 107 lawmakers present. Among them, 175 voted yay, 2 against, and 1 abstention. The People Power Party, or the PPP, that had launched a filibuster earlier on, they actually boycotted the vote.
Yes. So what is the gist of this bill?
The gist is that it completely separates investigation from indictment, 수사, 기소, 완전 분리, and gets rid of the prosecution's rights to investigate and conduct supplementary investigation. The only exception being that prosecutors will still be able to request that the police conduct supplementary investigations within a month's period with a possible month extension. Also, all materials that are found in the investigation are to be recorded into the Korea Information System of Criminal Justice Services, or KICS. So the Democratic Party, which has been behind in pushing this bill, they welcomed the passage as the parliament responding to the people's orders to reform the prosecution. However, the PPP has issued a statement via its spokesperson saying that innocent people without power have lost the last legal protection measure.
Well, this is a major reform measure, one that changes the prosecution's role as we know it. What happens now?
So once the changes are fully put into effect, prosecutors, again, will no longer be able to conduct investigations. And then come October 2nd, the prosecution, 검찰청 itself, will be abolished, and that'll be 78 years after its foundation. Then the prosecution will be split into 2 separate institutions. One is the Serious Crimes Investigation Agency, and the other is an indictment agency. So the Serious Crimes Investigation Agency will only, however, handle crimes that are related to corruption, the economy, the defense industry, drugs, insurrection and aiding the enemy, and cyber crimes, again, with all the other investigations conducted by the police. However, there's still a lot to figure out, especially there's no framework in place regarding the specific organizational structure and what tasks they'll handle, even down to who will go there, because current prosecutors will have to kind of volunteer to take on these roles, and will they want to is another big question.
Yes, we're going to have to follow this story because I am sure it's not going to end here. We're now going to quickly turn to the DP's race for the party chair. So the regional races have begun.
They are in place, and over the weekend, the Chungcheong race and the Busan races took place. The first day was with Chungcheong, with the due-paying members of the Democratic Party. Here, former Prime Minister Kim Min-seok won with a very slight margin, 45.06% of the votes, narrowly beating former party chair Jung Cheong-rae, who received 44.61%. Third place was Song Yong-gil with 10.34%.
But I hear that flipped yesterday.
It did. So Jung Cheong-rae beat Kim Min-seok in the Busan race with 46.65% to Kim's 43.85%, beating him by a larger margin at 2.8%. Again, Song Yong-gil in third place with 9.5% of the total.
Yes.
That figure, however, will be adjusted because Gyeongnam, along with Gyeongbuk and Daegu, are considered strategic regions by the Democratic Party, meaning that the winner of these specific regions will get a 5% boost added towards their votes towards the end of the race.
I see.
So overall, this is seen as a saving grace for Chung, who lost actually his hometown, Chungcheong area, to Kim by a very narrow margin, and that initially halted his initial vision to have this upfront momentum. The party is only disclosing the members' votes, but 30% of the total results will come from the general public. So that poll will be conducted from August 15th to the 16th, and the results will be revealed on the following day, the 17th, at the full national convention in Daejeon.
All right. Well, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, the weather.
We gotta.
Busan and Yangsan broke another record high temperature over the weekend, right?
How much? I mean, I know you were not in the Busan area and in another area that's usually much hotter.
Seoul, I have to say, was cooler
Yeah.
this area because I came back down yesterday. I'm like, Why is
What
it
is
hotter
this?
down here? What is this?
And I had
Yes.
family members come down from Seoul and they're
Right.
like, yeah, we're gonna like migrate back to Seoul where it's
exactly.
cooler. I'm like, well, because Yangsan, our neighboring city,
Yes.
broke its record high temperature yesterday, a whopping 42.5 degrees Celsius. But the thing is, this didn't come out of nowhere because on Saturday, that was the previous highest record temperature at 41.6%,
Yes.
which broke a previous record high from a day ago on Friday. On and on, marking the 5th consecutive day with over 40 degrees Celsius temperatures, which is a
right.
first for the country. So the Korea Meteorological Administration, the KMA, said that we have never seen temperatures this high anywhere in the country since modern weather observation began way back in 1904.
Oh my goodness. And unfortunately, the number of fatalities has been going up as well.
Right, so no fatalities were reported yesterday, but over the weekend, a man in his 50s collapsed while he was hiking in Bongwagun County in Gyeongbuk Province. A woman in her 50s was also found dead while she was sleeping inside her vehicle. She had gone out to this local stream to catch some fish or clams with her friends. She
Right.
felt fatigued and went to sleep in the car in Yeongdong County, Chungbuk Province. Here's what's notable. Because usually a lot of fatalities come from those who are 65 or older. These people were in their 50s,
Right.
and seemingly, at least from preliminary reports, no preconditions. So please don't overestimate your health. I mean, hiking and then going out to the river to catch fish or others, and then going into a car that was
Right.
shut for a nap, not safe, especially in this weather.
Absolutely. And these clear skies don't show any signs of letting up anytime soon.
Because here's the thing, clear skies, yes, they're pretty, but that also means drought, as Tian said. And this has spelled disaster for the farmers.
Right.
Going to another neighboring city of Changwon, which is a regional specialty, they have persimmons, tangam. But a lot of the farms are on the slope of a mountain, which makes it hard for them to get water. And they
Yes.
do so via a government program from the Nakdong River, but that only applies to 40% of the farms. And the other rest, the groundwater levels are low due to the prolonged drought. So this is supposed to be a time when a lot of the fall harvest, the fruits are growing and ripening, but
Sure.
without water to really support that growth, this could lead to a poor crop yield later this year.
Ah, yes. And for many people, this heat wave is raising concerns about their power bill.
Right, so Seoul National University Public Health survey over 2,000 adults in April showed that the top threat to public health, as they felt, was new diseases. Of course, that's coming from COVID-19 at 31%. However, the second biggest was the heat wave at 21.5%, and that was ranked higher than the economic crisis. So regarding those who felt they were more vulnerable to the heat, 37% was the elderly, 30% marginalized population, like those living in poverty or the homeless, followed by 14% with pre-existing illnesses and 6% for children and babies. And actually, 41% of those surveyed responded that they themselves thought they were vulnerable to the heat.
Really? And what's the reason behind this?
So there was a strong economic correlation because among them, 34% said because they were not guaranteed safe working conditions from the heat, whether they were working outside or irregular locations. Another 34% saying that their homes were not safely equipped from the heat wave. So bulk of those were individuals were economically vulnerable and had unstable hiring conditions, including those who made under 2 million won per month,
Yes.
day laborers, and those who worked for their families for free. So because of this, 42% of the people said that they've had to cut back from other expenses to be able to afford the cooling bill. So we often call the heat the silent killer, but
Right.
it seems that it also has an economic aspect to it.
Ah, yes, indeed. All right, we're going to move on to a different story entirely. There was this major incident with tens of thousands of migrants rushing to the Spanish coast.
Right, so a lot of the videos and photos went viral online over the weekend. So about 60,000 migrants crossed the waters and reached this tiny territory of Ceuta from Morocco on Thursday local time, and at least 72 dead, with the death toll unfortunately likely to rise because the search is ongoing for the bodies that drowned in the water.
Yes.
So this large influx of migrants crossing the waters happened in the course of just 24 hours across the Wednesday to Thursday period. And it was disastrous because that tiny city of Ceuta only has a population of 85,000 to have 60,000 additional people reach the coast.
Yes.
So as of Friday evening, more than 48,000 people had voluntarily returned to Morocco, according to Spanish officials.
Yeah, so why this particular town?
So this is a bit of geography. Ceuta is on the North African coast. It is separated from mainland Spain by the Strait of Gibraltar. It has long been a focal point of migrants attempting to reach Europe from northern Africa. And usually the summer months, there's a big push to reach Ceuta that's usually organized over social media. And this is one of Europe's only land borders with Africa.
Ah, okay. So I hear that this also triggered a political crisis.
Because migration and immigration is often a very touchy subject.
Right.
So Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez called the incident a violation of Spain's territorial integrity. And he also blamed human trafficking mafia. Recently, the Spanish Supreme Court ruled that those who are intercepted at sea while trying to enter Ceuta or another enclave of Melilla could not be summarily returned under special rules, meaning immediately returned. So he actually, going back to the Prime Minister, announced an establishment of a temporary reception center for expedited expulsion of these individuals and said that the government will put up a visible buoy to clarify the border. However, he has been under criticism because his government had recently opened an immigration policy within the EU that's been criticized for failing to control the borders. To that end, Italy has responded by suspending the EU's border-free Schengen agreement with Spain for the time being. And the European Union will hold an urgent meeting on Tuesday local time of interior ministers.
All right. Thanks for going over this story. We're going to move to our final story. We need to know what's happening between the U.S. and Iran.
So in this very prolonged on-again, off-again war, it seems that the things are off again for now. U.S. President Donald Trump, as you said, he stated that he canceled strikes against Iran upon request by Iran, but also other Middle Eastern countries, including Saudi Arabia, to hold off on the attacks.
Well, question. Does this mean that there has been a development in the ceasefire deal?
You know, as always, maybe. That's been the answer. Well, Trump said on social media that this is upon the perimeters of a deal being agreed upon. A spokesperson for the Iranian Parliament's National Security Commission said that mediators are trying to revive an agreement brokered by Pakistan. The Saudi Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, called Trump on Sunday to express concerns.
Yes, but Iran maintains its hostile stance, right?
At least it's skeptical. So Iran's acting defense minister said that Trump has backed down within the context of psychological operations and a war of calculations, meaning that they don't see this as being in good faith. Iran's forces, therefore, he said, will remain on alert. An Iranian news agency said Trump's claims that Tehran had requested a pause was nothing but a new lie, and then the Iranian armed forces were on high alert for any eventuality.
I see. Well, thanks for giving us the latest on this, plus all the top stories. We'll check in with you in hour number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
We're ready for a song break, so how about this one, as sung by Cool?
많은 남친이 내 친구만도 여러 명이야 말도 안 돼 믿을 수 없어 혹시 쌍둥이 영희 너를 보았지 다른 남자 품 안에 너를 한 번도 볼 수 없었던 너무 행복한 미소 내 사랑은 무너져 버렸어
변명이 아니라 그 남자는 나와 상관없어 잠시 날 어지러워서 기댄 것뿐이야 날 오해하지 말아줘
나 역시 많은 여자들 만났다가 헤어져도 봤지만 한꺼번에 많은 여자를 만난 적은 없었어 네가 뭔데 날 아프게 하니 너 때문에 상처내버린 내 사랑 이제 다시는 너의 헛된 만남도 나 같은 사랑 없을걸 난 두려워 나 역시 다시는 이런 사랑 할 수 없을까봐
믿을 수 없겠지 나는 네가 첫사랑인데 떠나버리면 어떡하라고 사랑까지는 바라지도 않을게 네 곁에 항상 있게만 해줘 제발
Welcome back, everybody. It's now time to check in with the doctor. Dr. Ryu Sang-hyo, yay!
Good morning! In this hot weather, it's Monday. It's pretty dreadful day. If you're commuting to your work, please get excited and then don't turn on this video channel, YouTube channel. Turn on our channel. Stay tuned.
You're in a good mood.
Oh yes, it's
Yes.
Monday.
Yes.
I try to be excited. Try to boost my energy.
Of course,
by
we
myself.
want energy on a Monday.
Yeah.
Because it's always hard going back to, whatever routine you have, right? Text topic time.
Yes.
So, did you do any chores when you were younger, household tasks? And you've shared with our waivers out there that you have one son. Does he do anything? Is he tasked with anything at home?
Well, I don't think he inherited my trait of doing all kinds of errands because I was the youngest in my family, so I did all kinds of errands. So I don't mind doing them today even because it's helping other people, and then I got rewards, and it's a little bit of exercise.
Okay.
I want my son to line up some shoes after we come back at home and by the door.
신발 정리.
Yeah,
Yes.
신발 정리. Yes, that's right. And that's what I'm trying to have him to do that.
Oh,
yes.
So that's his role.
Yeah, that's his role.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does he clean his own room?
No, because we have some kind of little gadgets that runs.
help?
Yeah, that help. It's an automatic, semi-automatic.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing.
Okay.
Well, what are we jumping into today?
Oh, this is hot. It's scorching hot weather outside. That's why in the past I covered some heat-related stuff.
Yes.
But I'm going to delve into a little bit more in detail from a different perspective. And also I'm going to reiterate, emphasize more on the seriousness of these heat-related illnesses. The recent news reports saying that even young adults are dying from extreme heat. In fact, among people who die from outdoor heat-related illnesses, those in their 30s and 40s account for a surprisingly large proportion.
Yes.
So extreme heat doesn't discriminate by age anymore.
I mean, this is so true.
Yeah.
Usually we hear about elderly people, relatively speaking, they're the ones who are prone to these heat-related illnesses. But, we saw a story about a 20-something-year-old person as well. And it's kind of scary.
It's really scary.
Yes.
That's so, it affects on our every situation, every lives. So I'm going to go over how to overcome this one.
Oh.
Yes. First of all, I want to do some more, I cannot put more emphasis on this more, the importance of this heat exhaustion and heat stroke
Yes.
열탈진 and then 열사병.
Okay, this is really important. I know we've gone over it before, but this is a time to go over it again because we're having 40-degree plus weather
Yes,
in
right.
our region, right?
Yes,
Okay.
right. First of all, heat exhaustion, 열탈진, is our body's emergency warning system. You'll experience heavy sweating and weakness, dizziness, feeling nauseated. But in that case, key here is that your mental state is clear, very, very clear.
Okay.
If it happens, you must move to the shaded area and then loosen your clothes and ship a lot of water.
Yes.
But on the other hand, heat stroke is a medical emergency. Your cooling system completely, goes out of order. That's why the person who has heat stroke may develop sweating, even seizure and slurred speech.
Right.
Last week suddenly I find myself having some kind of a mild symptom of heat exhaustion because I had a itching for some kalguksu in this hot weather. So we were sitting at the corner. It was like a dead spot because it was air-conditioned room, but we had a kalguksu. But suddenly I felt a little bit dizzy and felt a little nauseous. I drank cold water, and then it went away.
Okay.
So I think I might have a little bit of symptoms of a heat exhaustion.
Which is very different, once again, from heat stroke. Heat stroke, you need to really go to the emergency room, call 119, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so this is an essential reminder for all of us once again. So we want to go beyond the basics because we all know the general rule, like we need to stay in the shade, we want to stay hydrated. But this one, okay, this is a debate for the ages. Ice water versus lukewarm water. And I'll admit, in the morning when I wake up, I do have my, half cup of lukewarm water because everybody says it's good for you. But I really prefer ice water.
Me too.
So you got to let us know what's going on.
Well, for most healthy adults,
Uh-huh.
cool and ice water is completely fine.
Okay, good.
There's no medical rule forcing you to drink lukewarm water
Okay.
in this hot weather.
goodness.
Yes, thank goodness. In fact, cool water lowers core body temperature faster and it tastes very, very much refreshing.
yes.
Which encourages people to drink more.
That's true, because
Yeah,
if
that's
it's
true.
warm, you don't want any more. You're like,
No, but
I'm good.
Yeah, but one catch is this one.
Okay.
Gulping down ice cold water too quickly can trigger temporary stomachache or stomach cramps. And also, I think you might experience this one. Drink, big chunk of bite of ice cream and then swallow it. You feel a little
brain
bit of a
freeze.
brain freeze. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
brain
Brain freeze. In that case, you wouldn't want to do that again. So the best way to hydrate your body is drink whatever temperature you enjoy. Just drink slowly and continuously. Small, regular sips throughout the day. Not when you're thirsty, just beforehand.
Yes.
This preemptive measure, I would say. Drink sips throughout the day.
Yes.
Protects our kidney and heart far better than chugging a liter of ice cold water once you are already severely dehydrated.
Okay, so as with anything, everything in moderation, and preventive is better than treating, right?
That's
is what
right.
you're saying,
And
even with water.
continuously, yes, right.
Okay. So, what about icy beer or an iced Americano after a long day in the sun? I don't know. People, I think we have heard maybe, alcohol is not great for you on a hot day.
No, actually, that's the worst choice.
Oh, it's the worst choice?
Yes, cold beer feels refreshing at the moment.
Right.
But alcohol acts as a diuretics. It forces your kidney to flush out more fluid than you're taking in, accelerating dehydration. And also, it impairs our brain's ability to regulate body temperature and disrupts our sleep cycle. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why we have to avoid ice cold to drink alcoholic beverages from medical perspective.
Okay.
First, ice, you've seen all those television commercials, like in the blazing hot summer, and then someone opens up some ice cold beer and then pour in a cup like this. and then chugging this cold, fresh beer.
Ice cold beer,
Yeah,
right?
ice cold beer, yes.
Yes.
But it makes a great commercial.
It does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, but medical is bad for 3 reasons.
Okay.
First, your body is already losing water through sweat. Alcohol causes you to lose even more. It's like adding fuel to the fire.
Ooh.
And then the second reason is alcohol isn't doing your brain any favor. It temporarily impairs your brain function and slows judgment and
yes.
reaction time. And finally, alcohol disrupts our normal sleep.
Yes.
You may fall asleep more quickly, but the quality of your sleep is much more poorer, and which means your body recovers less effectively from the day's heat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be real tempting, right?
Yes, right.
To chug on that iced, ice cold beer. But Dr. Liu says there are 3 reasons not to do it. But now we got to talk about iced coffee because you see everybody with their, their little iced, in their hand, right?
Yeah, yeah. Coffee has many benefits. Like it has fibers, so it's good for our bowel movement.
Okay,
and also some antioxidants it contains. That's why it prevents us from having some neurodegenerative disorders.
Okay,
but moderate coffee is fine. But relying too much on heavily on iced coffee all afternoon can also increase fluid loss. So I would say iced coffee would be fine, but the rule of thumb is water remains king.
There's a question that came up on the board.
Yes.
Tommy, he says, I think he's jokingly asking, so warm beer is okay?
Warm beers?
No. It's the
warm
same,
beers. Right? Oh, well, if you boil it, the alcohol might evaporate, and then you can drink that the boiling hot beer. Yeah,
No.
I totally recommend that. Okay.
Joke for joke. I like. Okay, so moderation of iced coffee is okay, but you're saying water is king.
Yes.
Yes. All right. And as a neurologist, why are you so concerned about dehydration during these record-breaking temperatures?
Because it can increase heart attack, risk of stroke as well. Because when you when you are in hot weather situation,
yes.
you might sweat a lot. The more you sweat, what happens to your body is, especially the blood volume drops, and then your blood becomes thicker and more condensed and more concentrated.
Yes.
Our heart has to pump significantly harder. The risk of blood clots increases. So for people who are having who have high blood pressure or diabetes, heart conditions, or a history of stroke, this kind of added strain can be the tipping point.
Okay. And so I do want to touch upon tropical nights. Many people struggle to sleep and they worry. Is it safe to leave the air conditioner on all night? This is like a daily topic of conversation for my husband and I. We're like, he wants to leave it on all night. I'm just like, well, let's just keep the fan on, and so we always have this debate. So what's the best?
In this hot weather, absolutely yes. You need to keep turning on the AC, but the temperature is really important.
Okay, here we
go. Target 25 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Not too low, not too much lower because some people want a cool weather and then lowering the pump up the AC as hard as you can get, and then putting up all those blankets all over your body. That's no good because it dries up your mucus. And increases chance of some kind of a how can I say summer flu, things like that. So and moderate temperature is okay. It's totally necessary in this hot weather. And also, I want you to ventilate once. If you're sleeping, you're not going to be able to ventilate because you're not going to wake up in the middle of the night. But I would say definitely you got to turn on your AC overnight.
All right. What if someone only has a fan, though?
Oh, fan helps evaporate sweat, but in that case, I would say if you don't have any AC at home, I want you to stay some community centers, they
Yes.
have AC and also air-conditioned public cooling areas. And you have to adjust in that situation. So fan isn't enough in this situation.
I see.
In that case, you need to seek for some more facilities with AC on.
Right, you need like a public cooling shelter.
That's right.
All right. So it's almost time to wrap up. So what do you want to leave our listeners with?
Okay, there are rule of thumbs. Drink water whenever you need it. Now, when you feel thirsty.
Okay.
And then keep your indoor temperature comfortably cool. And then cut back on heavy late night meals and alcohol and caffeine at night because sleeping is really important.
Yes.
And create a restful sleep environment 1 or 2 hours before bed, which means put away the smartphone and then turn off TV or let your brain unwind naturally.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for bringing this to our attention once again because we needed to be reminded of things we need to do throughout the day to stay cool and to stay healthy. So
Yeah, before I go, I want to wrap up with some kind of corny joke because this hot weather makes you really do some in. Okay, in Korea, 이거 한국말로 해석해야 돼요. What does the sun become when it cries?
I don't know.
해운대.
해운대. Sorry. I love these corny dad jokes. All right, we're going to have to end it on that one. We're out of time. We'll check in with you next week, though.
Okay, bye-bye.
Everybody, this is Dr. Liu. Here's 뜨거운 안녕 by Psy, so enjoy.
불타올랐던 남과여 나 없이 괜찮니 너 죽기 아니면 깡으로 칠 줄 알았어 미칠 줄 알았어 칠 줄 알았어 그리워 나 미워 근사했고 감사했고 자기야 밤새 했고 이젠 오래된 어린 한 조각조각이 나도 너무나서 하도 오래된 일이라서 나도 사는 게 바빠서 그만 맘에도 없는 말 그만 숨어서 한숨만 그만 우리 함께 했던 날 나만 미쳐가는 걸까 소중했던 내 사랑아 이젠 안녕 그래 이젠 안녕 찬란하게 반짝이는 눈동자야 그래 눈동자야 사랑했던 날들이여 이젠 안녕 그래 이젠 안녕 달빛 아래 타오르는 붉은 입술 떠난다면 뜨겁게 안녕 같이 배어 더 베개에 배어 있는 너의 흔적을 버려 미련을 버려 남는 건 사진이야 다 지워버려 미팅 소개팅으로 재부팅해버려 너의 모든 걸 삭제 맘대로 안돼 가슴과 머리가 따로 논단 소리 Baby I am sorry 아침부터 밤까지 하나부터 열까지 다 같이 했기 때문에 너무 힘들어 입술을 깨무네 술김에 억지로 잠을 재우네 술도 수면제도 너를 못 이겨 또 밤을 새우네 왜 헤어졌냐 자존심 때문에 소중했던 내 사랑아 이젠 안녕 그래 이젠 안녕 찬란하게 반짝이는 눈동자야 그래 눈동자야 사랑했던 날들이여 이젠 안녕 그래 이젠 안녕 달빛 아래 타오르는 붉은 입술 그래 붉은 입술 그리워 어지러워 서러워 기분 더러워 One more time 그리워 어지러워 서러워 기분 더러워 하나뿐인 목숨을 바치고 같은 날 생을 마치고 나 같은 놈에게 이 모든 걸 사치고 다치고 닥치고 아디오스 소중했던 내 사랑아 이젠 안녕 그래 이젠 안녕 찬란하게
Hi, Professor. This is Catherine. How are you? Can you unmute your mic, please? 마이크 켜주세요, 교수님. Hello, are you there? Can you say something, please?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, I can. Thank goodness. How are you?
Okay.
Okay,
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So, can you count to from 1 to 5 for us? By the way, our mic checks, they go out live on YouTube, just to give you a heads up. So, if you can count from 1 to 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Perfect. Everything sounds good. The optics, if you can sit a little bit away from the camera, sit back just a little.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So let's try to remember that spacing. Per usual, I have a short news segment at the top of the hour at 8. We're going to jump into the special interview at 8:04. And if you can mute your mic after a test call and then unmute our producer, she's going to remind you through the Zoom chat box. Is that okay?
Yep.
All right, we're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
FM through our Kakao Talk service. You can share your messages and photos through Kakao Talk, and you can easily become BFM's Kakao friend by searching BFM through the Find a Friend option. Come share and chat with us at BFM anytime, anywhere for free. Don't forget to add BFM Busan 영어 방송 to your Kakao friends list.
Man, I haven't got a chance. I call him.
We are the Zero Waste Rangers.
To save Mother Earth, just remember the 5 R's. Would you like a bag for that?
No thanks. I brought my own bag. Number 1, refuse. Just say no to things you do not need.
This shirt is so out of style.
Why not take it to a flea market? Number 2, reduce. Buy only what you need and share with your neighbors.
1 iced Americano coming right up.
Can I get that in my tumbler? Number 3, reuse. Single use, that's not how we do things.
This is such a hassle. Let's just throw it all in together.
You've got to peel off the labels and rinse them out. Number 4, recycle. Rinse it, peel it, and recycle properly.
This looks different from other sponges.
It's a biodegradable loofah. Number 5, rot. Choose a product that returns to nature.
Refuse, reduce,
reuse, recycle,
and rot. The 5R pledge to protect our planet.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
Welcome back, everybody. This is 8 o'clock Spotlight News. South Korea breaks hottest record with 42.5 degrees Celsius in Yangsan. The country recorded its hottest temperature ever in Yangsan, Gyeongnam Province at 42.5 degrees Celsius yesterday, the number of heat-related illness patients surging across the country's emergency rooms. The total number of heatwave-related patients across the country's emergency rooms came to 96, according to the Interior Ministry, and the total number of deaths at 14. The 42.5 degrees Celsius in Yangsan marked the highest reading since modern weather observations began in 1904. Yesterday marked the 5th straight day that temperatures exceeded 40 degrees Celsius in Yangsan. President returns home from Frankfurt after 5-nation trip. President Lee Jae-myung is returning home after a 5-nation trip with his final visit in Frankfurt, where he met with South Korean nationals living in Germany. The 11-day trip covered San Francisco, U.S., Brazil, Chile, and Argentina, with his focus on AI cooperation, energy, critical minerals, and diversifying trade. The president will hold a closed-door meeting at Cheongwadae later today to address pressing issues, including the stock market and real estate. Top prosecutor offers resignation after bill passes, removing prosecutors' investigative rights. Acting Prosecutor General Koo Ja-hyun offered to resign shortly after the National Assembly passed a bill aimed at abolishing the prosecution's direct investigative powers, saying he takes responsibility for the passage of the controversial bill. The revision of the Criminal Procedure Act passed a plenary session in a 175-2 vote with one abstention after the Assembly voted in favor of a motion to stop a filibuster launched by the main opposition People Power Party, or PPP, the previous day. Under the bill, the prosecution will be stripped of its authority to conduct direct investigations, including supplementary investigations. KORAIL's takeover of SRT approved. The Fair Trade Commission, or FTC, yesterday approved the takeover of SR Corporation, the operator of SRT trains by Korea Railroad Corporation, known as KORAIL, saying the deal is unlikely to hinder competition in the transportation industry. The watchdog also pointed out that ticket fares cannot exceed ceilings set by the Transport and Finance Ministries, noting KORAIL cannot unilaterally raise fares. The FTC and the Land Ministry, meanwhile, signed a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, the same day to continue monitoring KORAIL's business operations after the takeover, which is expected to be completed in September. Trump cancels Iran strikes subject to deal being made rapidly. U.S. President Donald Trump says he has canceled planned military strikes against Iran on the basis of rapidly reaching a deal on its nuclear program and the full reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. Trump said on social media that the pause came in expectation of a breakthrough and in response to requests from Iran and other countries in the Middle East. However, Iranian outlets citing sources published a more skeptical tone from Tehran, saying that the strait would remain closed as long as the U.S. maintains its hostile actions. And this was Spotlight News. It's time for a special interview on this Monday morning. South Korea continues to experience an intense heat wave, with temperatures reaching record highs in many parts of the country. Health officials say more than 1,600 people have already suffered heat-related illnesses this year, and heat-related deaths continue to rise. In Busan, temperatures recently climbed to 39 degrees Celsius, marking the city's hottest day in more than 120 years. And as you just heard in news, Yangsan reaching 42.5 degrees Celsius at the peak yesterday. Many residents have been heading to the beach after sunset, hoping to find some sort of relief from the heat. Today, we're going to speak with an expert to better understand what's happening, what's behind this record-breaking heat, and what we can expect in the coming days. Joining us is Professor Yoon Jin-ho, Gwangju from the Gwangju Institute of Science and Technology, Director of the International Environmental Research Institute and Professor of the Department of Energy and Energy Engineering at Gwangju Institute of Science and Technology. So, first of all, good morning. Welcome back, Professor.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yes, to begin with, what is driving this intense heat wave across Korea? Because it seems so extreme. We need to know the why.
Right. So how hot and the Korean temperature will go is depending on how strong the high pressure system is. So that just cover the entire South Korea, how warm and how thick that the air layer is. And that high pressure system is right now is covering South Korea is very high. So that drive this unusually hot summers. And then on top of that, like there are multiple other factors. For example, one is the local wind, especially toward the Yangsan and Busan area. Until like yesterday, the wind blowing to the side from the west. and that over the mountains that cause the dry and hot air. So that's on top of this high pressure system. There's that reason is the driving local temperature go too high.
Yes, indeed. And so Busan is usually known for having relatively mild summers because obviously we're a coastal city, but we saw temperatures reach 39 degrees here in Busan. And of course, I said in the intro, Yangsan going to like 42.5 also. That's like the highest in more than 120 years for Busan. Why has Busan been hit so hard with the heat this year?
Right. So there could be as I just mentioned, that high pressure system is main primary driving cause. But on top of that, the local wind, but also the surrounding Korea, the ocean temperature is not that cold. Right? In summer, even ocean get warmer. But this year the last several years is that the surrounding oceans is also a bit warmer than the climatology. So meaning that even you go out to beach area, you may not feel that cold air like 10 years ago or something like that. So that's another factors that we need to think.
Yes. And, even after sunset, though, after the sun goes down, the temperatures have remained unusually high with tropical nights pretty much continuing across much of the country. So why aren't the temperatures dropping at night like we might expect, and why does that matter?
So during nighttime, we need to take a rest. We need to get sleep and so on like that. But then when the temperature is too high, it's very uncomfortable. And you have to either rely on air conditioning or just couldn't sleep well.
Yes.
So we have a few things. One is this urbanization. So the Korea, we have many big cities, more than 1 million people, and then we live all together in the cities. That's the one factors. And also, the daytime temperatures get too high. So during nighttime, it has to cool down a bit. That's usually what happens even in the peak of the summer days.
Sure.
But the daytime temperature is too high. So because of that, the nighttime, it tried to cool down, but just didn't have too much time. So it just keep accumulating. That's likely the reasons for that.
Yes. And the thing is this, heat-related illnesses directly related to the high temperatures, they're also on the rise. More than 1,600 people have already been treated for heat-related illnesses this year. And of course, the heat-related deaths. That number continues to go up. From a weather perspective, what makes this particular heat wave really dangerous?
So, in the media, we just simply say, it's over 40 degrees, 41 degrees, 42 degrees. But just think about our body temperature. That's about 38, 39 degrees. So when the air is hotter than our body temperature, meaning when you go out, you are not going to get any relief. So you may have to take the heat from the outside. And that's very, very dangerous, especially when you when you go out for a long time. Going out 30 minutes, an hour could be okay.
Yes.
But more than that, and without any break, without too much water intake, that's very, very dangerous condition. And also, this is affecting differently. So when you are young and healthy, you can go out for a few hours, no problem. But when you get older or very young, you got to be very careful when you do the outside activities.
Yes, indeed. Many people are wondering, Professor, how much longer this heat will last? So based on the current outlook, when might we maybe see some relief?
So unfortunately, this week is going to be just another very, very hot week. But the good thing to Busan area is that the local wind is changing right now.
Okay.
So like Yangsan, like yesterday, got to 40, 41, 42, around that numbers. But we may not get to that high. But doesn't mean we are going to have any break from this heat wave. So you guys may stay in 38, 39 degrees, but not like 40 degrees. So that's at least better than yesterday's. But the whole week is likely still the heat wave warning. So just when you go out, you have to hydrate. You have to drink water as frequent as possible. Not a lot, but frequently. And then if you need to walk outside, take a break as much as possible as well.
Okay. Well, current forecast suggests that Super Typhoon Dolphin's path could play an important role in, this coming week's weather going into next week. Could you explain how different tracks of this Super Typhoon Dolphin might affect Korea and this heat wave we're experiencing?
So the typhoon, looks very big and powerful. So you can hope this way that the typhoon can break this high pressure system. That means we can have some sort of break from this long lasting heat wave. That's one possibility. Of course, we have to worry about the potential dangers due to these typhoons, but this could break, but it's too early to tell. If just the typhoon skim through Korea,
right,
it just doesn't affect the high pressure system. That means we may go on this heat wave for another week or so. But we just hope that this typhoon can disturb the current high pressure system so we can have a bit of break and so on like that.
Yes. And for a final question, to what extent is climate change contributing to heat waves, the weather that we're having right now? And finally, as an additional question, if summers, are they going to like this? Is this a new norm?
Well, it's the weather and climate itself has irregularity, meaning that we can have a bit of warmer, we can have a bit of a less warmer summers. That's the usual stories. But what climate change makes is just pushing the norms to the high level. So what it happens is that this year Yangsan go to 42 degrees. That's very, very unusual. This is record-breaking event. But then we are likely to see those record-breaking events again and again and again and again like this. Next year maybe get better slightly, but a few years later we are going to see it. So that's what the climate change pushing this our entire climate and weather system toward that directions, and we just have to find a way to be healthy under this kind of new norm. And then we have to find some ways to stop the global warming as quickly and as rapidly as possible.
Well, thank you so much for going over all the logistics and answering all of our questions. Wishing you a very safe and cool summer. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much.
This was Professor Yoon Jin-ho once again with our special interview, trying to understand this summer's weather and, of course, the heat wave that we've been experiencing. I'll be back with your updated traffic and weather. It's time for your updated traffic report. It is congested right now on 중앙대로 from 소정천 intersection to Bugok intersection. It's awfully slow on 만덕대로 right now from Minam to Mandok intersection. And there's traffic on Suyeongno from Daenam intersection to KBS Thruway intersection. It's already 30 degrees Celsius here in Busan under clear skies, and it's expected to go up to maybe even 36. It does depend on where you are in Busan. Busan is under a heat wave impact forecast, a heat wave warning, and a tropical night advisory. Across the nation, the severe heat is finally breaking somewhat in the eastern region, but the heat wave is traveling west, including to the capital area. All of Seoul is under a heat wave warning, and a severe heat wave warning has been issued throughout parts of Cheonnam and Yeongnam. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for Wagga Wagga Tea Time. We have Haley back in the studio.
Hello, hello.
Yes. So this first story, wow. A woman was fined for taking care of a baby crow.
까마귀.
Yes, for a few days, right?
Right. So 의정부 court recently found a woman in her 40s guilty of violating the protection and management of a wildlife law, but suspended her fine of 700,000 won. So know that if you pick up a baby, well, any crow, and try to raise it, you could be fined 70만 won. Would you? Ever,
No.
would you
No.
take? Okay,
No.
not a bird person.
No.
Okay,
Not a
all
bird
right,
person.
all right. So what does a suspended fine mean?
Yes.
If for this case and any cases, if you do not commit other crimes unrelated for the next 2 years or whatever the suspension is, then you, in this case, she will not get punished or be fined.
Oh, is that an actual photo of
I
the crow?
don't
Or just
think,
a crow?
I think it's a crow.
A crow?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We're
So
not
this was
sure.
all over, like, a crow?
Right. Like, why? Why would you risk a fine over
I
a
don't know.
crow? So
Yes.
this woman apparently picked up a young crow near a park in 의정부 back in early June. She took the crow home and raised it, took care of it for a week in her home. And then, and this is kind of a weird part, somebody lodged a complaint against her on 국민신문고.
Oh.
I know. I want the tea on this. I want a lot of the things were omitted, but like who, what, where, when, how
Yeah.
fashion. Like, is this a neighbor? Was the crow cawing too loud?
know.
Like, what's happening?
Right.
So when the police had to follow up, questioned her, she said that she found this baby crow on her way down. She went hiking and was coming down the mountain, and then she felt bad. But then we don't know if the crow was injured or whether.
That's what I was going to ask. Was it injured?
We are not sure. So a lot of the police report didn't have a lot of details. So she felt bad and took it home. So that kind of depends. If any animal is injured,
Right.
then yes, you would be probably warranted in taking it to the vet.
To the vet, though, not
Probably.
to your home.
But then if you feel like this animal is abandoned, is it? Do we
How
know?
do you know?
Can we know?
How do you know?
Right. So usually for like the proverbially, we call them colloquially cat moms or people, men and women who
Yes.
take care of stray cats, they'll kind of observe for a while.
Yes.
They'll make sure that the baby kitten has been abandoned because apparently if like the mom comes back and can smell the humans,
Right.
the mom won't take care of the cat anymore.
That's how we adopted our first cat.
Oh.
Because we found Po Tai Lung in one of our moving
Sorry,
boxes.
it's not the story, but it's the name.
Po and Tai Lung, Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay. So Po Tai Lung was found in a box. And then we waited 2 whole days, and we were so worried that he was going to die, or we didn't know at that point if it was a he or she.
They.
The mom didn't come back. And then we're like, okay, he's going to die.
Right.
So that's why
So
we took
you
him in.
kind of
Yeah.
wait until the
We
last
wait.
possible minute because
Yes.
you do want any animal to be raised
By the mommy.
the mom and the dad
Right.
and the proper family. So this woman said she raised the bird for about a week, put it in a box, and put it back where she found it.
Oh, so she did put it back.
She did put it back.
Oh, okay. But this is still against the law.
Here's the thing. This is
Okay.
the thing about law. So under the Protection and Management of Wildlife Act, it actually bans the catching and killing of wild animals, or catching and or killing of wild animals under the Environment Ministry's ordinance. And the thing is, these animals do not necessarily have to be endangered species. 멸종 위기종이 아니더라도 그런 동물들이 있습니다. So crows, of course, are not endangered.
Because there's so many of
They're
them.
there. But then they do fall into this category where you're not supposed to catch them or bring them home.
Now we
Yeah,
know.
Now we know.
Okay, don't just no
Cats
wildlife.
are not in this category, so you're fine, obviously. But yeah.
And we waited. We
You
did.
did.
Okay. Up next, FIFA pulled back on its plans to bring in private investors. This was so controversial.
Have we ever talked about FIFA this much
No.
in the past 3 months or so?
no.
But this is the latest controversy involving FIFA. Well, and specifically President Gianni Infantino. He had plans to commercialize and bring in investors. He had proposed private investment in FIFA's tournaments, including both the men's and the women's World Cup. So they wanted to create this commercial subsidiary to run the main events with external investors being able to buy stakes. So basically kind of corporatizing FIFA.
Right.
He offered FIFA's 211 member associations some $40 million if they backed his proposal. So it's like whammy upon whammy of, is that right?
It's like so many questions. But they were staunchly against it.
Right. So a lot of them, but namely UEFA, which is the governing European Football Federation, they responded by voting. They said, we're actually going to not send our teams to the World Cup if you privatize it, if you corporatize it. And other governing bodies followed suit as well.
That's right.
So on Friday, FIFA's chief operating officer, Kevin Lamore, said that they have been deceived about the project. So again, there are things that were not said for probably diplomacy's sake, but I want all the details.
I want the tea.
How were you deceived? By whom? And Infantino's senior advisor on global strategy and governance resigned over the matter. And said the proposal was a bad deal for football and would have mortgaged football's future.
Could this be kind of like the fatal blow to Infantino's leadership? Because there was controversy already before this.
Again, have we... Well, I don't know, you may have because you are a very big football fan, but have people like me, the Haleys, the lay people of, the World Cup every 4 years. Have I ever known the name of the FIFA president until now? Because this man has been in the news.
So much.
So much. Gianni Infantino is facing the prospect of actually a leadership challenge because FIFA Council members are moving to convene an emergency meeting. If they meet quorum and the threshold, Europe and North America, the council representative, are trying to secure support from at least 19 out of the body's 37 members, then they can convene this extraordinary general meeting. Basically, lots of rules, but simply put, they can actually vote him out, essentially. Vote of no confidence. At least that'll get the ball rolling to vote him out. Sorry. Pun intended?
Okay. Well, we will follow the story because this is an important one. For our next story, though, we're going to go to China, where in China, they've been fully embracing AI, including in its pop culture.
This is really interesting. Would you watch a fully AI-generated show, a drama?
I don't know.
I think out of curiosity, maybe I'll tune in.
But not really. I wouldn't
minutes.
watch.
I don't want to, keep watching it.
Because I'm not anti-AI, but it's like so taking away
from humanity
and just human beings and
right.
art.
So, but in China, a fully AI-generated period drama, 사극, has aired, and it has sparked a lot of discussions and controversy. So the show in Koreanized term is called 도화 담기, Peach Blossom, a Pond Chronicle. So this is themed on this intangible cultural heritage of swan paper making. It consists of 20 episodes. They run about 10 minutes, so they are shorter.
Right.
And all the broadcast footage is and has been marked AI production.
Oh, okay. I hear that the reception has been mixed.
Right. So what's the positive? Well, I mean, it is like a milestone in technological development. No humans. Humans were involved, obviously, but fully AI. Especially because this isn't just like an online drama, it's on satellite TV.
Oh.
Right. On the other hand, even us, when I look at my face on my phone screen versus what I see in the monitor, and I'm like, does my face ever need to be blown up that big? Because all the flaws show on a bigger screen.
Oh, yes.
Much more if it is AI. Right. So all the usual AI production flaws like choppy visuals, repetitive AI generated faces, a lot of the viewers are saying, all the faces look like they've been Control-C, Control-V'd. And they're making the same expression.
They all went to the same plastic surgeon?
Maybe. Or the same,
AI.
chatbot. Yeah. Exactly. So it is just even more prominent when it's on a big screen.
Right.
They're saying characters all have the generic AI face. Their eyes are dead. Basically, they have no emotion behind it.
Aww.
The smiles and tears feel mechanically generated, because probably they are. So the viewers are saying, we couldn't really connect. We couldn't sense any genuine emotional depth.
Right. Well, I guess, I don't know. Is that the wave? I hope not. But moving on to our final story, and this is very much connected to our text topic. So I'm going to ask you, Haley, when you were little, did you do lots of, household tasks or chores or errands?
I did. The funny thing is, when I was little, I did. I was actually a very diligent, good kid. And then I just kind of devolved. I didn't evolve for the better. I just devolved and, yeah. But I remember doing, I did the dishes. I was running errands because we were at an age where kids went out without adult supervision, maybe a little younger than what's modern day acceptable. So I would go to the grocery store and buy 두부 한모, soy sauce, whatever. Yeah. When I have a question though, because my nephew's in the 4th grade, and I'm
Right.
like toying with the idea of should I send him out like by himself to run an errand?
Oh,
right.
At what age is it appropriate?
At what age do you start sending your kids out?
I
for
think it really
errands?
depends, like whether there's like a, like where you live. If it's like an apartment complex where there
It's
are
a very gated community.
gated community, I mean, a little earlier is okay.
Right.
But if we're talking like crossing major streets,
Exactly.
that's a whole different story.
Exactly.
Yes.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Which brings us to our next story.
Right. So it's research on children and household tasks.
It's not just about our opinion, but
Yes.
there's actually research on it. So doing household chores, of course, it's helpful for the parents when the kids can at least throw their laundry into the hamper.
Right.
But it actually could set your kids up for success later in life. So this is according to University of Minnesota's research by Emeritus Professor Marty Rossman.
Okay.
So this research showed that involving children in household tasks, here's key, 5 stars. Early age can have a positive impact later in life because parents are then teaching the kids a sense of responsibility, competence, self-reliance, and self-worth, and that lesson is something that stays with them throughout their lives.
This is so true. This is one good thing I think I did as a parent is giving my kids tasks from early on. And they're so much more self-sufficient when I see peers of their age.
I see. Give me an example, like how young?
Like
how,
Zach
what-
was helping to separate the recyclables. When we first came to Korea, he was doing it in grade 2 already.
Okay.
So he helped with that and to learn that, trash is okay. You can touch it. You can wash your hands
I
after.
mean, covered. You guys touch so many different things. Like
I
you
know.
yeah.
And like the girls did little things like, like gathering all the trash cans for oppa to empty.
That's wonderful.
So tell us more about the research.
Right.
though.
So Professor Rossman explored outcomes for 84 young adults based on this in-depth study of their parents' style of interaction, their participation with family work from different periods. So we're talking ages 3 to 4, 9 to 10, and then again in teenagers, 15 to 16.
Right.
They also measured success in areas of completion of education, getting started on their career path, IQ, social relationships, not using drugs, and then compare that to a child's involvement in household tasks at these 3 areas. So again, this is correlation, not causation, but still.
So what were the results?
So the professor determined that the best predictor of young adults' success in their mid-20s was whether they had participated in household tasks when they were 3 or 4. So
Like
like
real
the
young.
youngest
Right.
age that was observed. But even if they did do household tasks, if that didn't begin until like 15 or 16, that actually backfired. And the
you
participants were much less successful. So the assumption, we don't know for certain, but the assumption is that, the responsibility is best when it is learned at a young age.
Ooh, so is there more parents should know about this?
And how the tasks are presented. So it's always the how, right? That influences the kids' abilities to become well-adjusted, self-sufficient adults.
Okay.
They shouldn't be too overwhelming.
Right.
Right. So age appropriate. You shouldn't ask like a 3-year-old to do the dishes or break all the dishes, rather.
No.
They should present a task that fits the kid's preferred learning style.
Okay.
Maybe show them, explaining it to them. The kids should be involved in what do you want to do? What do you feel comfortable
course.
contributing to,
Yes.
our household? And then, maybe there should be a chore chart. There should be a family meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Also, this shouldn't come with an incentive, aka candy or allowance.
Oh,
Which is
important.
really interesting because that's
Yes.
how a lot of parents present it. But it should be responsibility, not like you get paid to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
We never gave an incentive because just to do the chores because, that's just, icky. But anyhow, we're going to call it a wrap for the Woggly News, and we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Haley.
Have a great day.
All right, it's time to take a little song break. So this is Russian Roulette by Red Velvet.
날카로운 secret 둘러싼 얘긴 베일 속에 점점 더 깊은 hush 맘을 켜놔 이제 여긴 온통 어두운 밤하늘색 그림자조차 길을 잃게 해 Oh 넌 항상 love this game 쉽게 즐기
traffic is so bad. Let's see what's on the radio.
Get the latest news and current issues that you need here on Morning Wave in Busan. You're now listening to Morning Wave in Busan with me, Catherine. Welcome back, everybody. It's now time for our final segment today, and it is called the AI Breakdown. So we have Jay 대표님 in the studio once again. So welcome back.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yes. Well, we have a text topic I want to ask you. So when you were younger, when you were a child, did you have like household tasks or chores or errands that maybe your parents asked you to do?
Well, actually, I didn't really have a tasks, but the thing is like my dad, he always pushed me to help mom.
Oh, that's good.
You're the guy in the house, so you have to help your mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
so
what
were
he
you good
said.
at doing that?
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, you're such a good son. How about for your own kids?
Same thing.
Same thing. Help mom?
Yes, helping mom.
I love it. All right. Well, thanks for sharing a little bit about your personal life. We are going to jump into our topic. So last week, we spent the whole segment talking about Korea's AI Basic Act. So today, I hear we're going to do things a little differently, right?
Yes, that's right. AI had a very busy week. So today, we picked a few stories that caught our attention, and we're going to break down for our waivers.
Okay, very good. So, a very busy week, like in a good way or like a scary way?
Yeah, honestly, both. AI became more powerful and cheaper. But it also caused some real security problems.
Right. So, powerful, cheaper, and slightly dangerous. Sounds a little like AI, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And the first story starts with a name we may hear quite often from now on, Kimi.
Kimmy. So what exactly, or who, I don't know, what is Kimmy? Because it sounds kind of like a cartoon character.
Yes, the name sounds friendly, but some people are already calling its arrival the Kimi shock.
Okay, so when we hear shock and AI, we get a little nervous. So what exactly happened?
Kimi is an AI service made by a Chinese company called Moonshot AI. Its a new model is called Kimi K3.
Okay.
It can write, code, search, understand images, and work on long tasks.
So is it safe to say maybe it's China's version of ChatGPT?
Oh, yes, that is the easiest way to think about it.
Okay.
But there is one important difference. Kimi is an open model.
What does that mean, open model?
It means developers can download it, study it, change it, and use it in their own services.
Oh.
Think of it like a restaurant sharing not only the food, but also the recipe.
Oh, wow. But I'm thinking that, isn't that dangerous for a restaurant to share your recipe?
Maybe, but it helps the recipe spread very quickly. A small company may not have enough money to build its own giant AI, but it can take an open model and change it for healthcare, education, shopping, or another business.
Oh, well, some reports say China is now only like a couple months behind the U.S. Is that really true, though?
Yeah, we should be careful with the numbers. AI is not a simple running race.
Okay.
One model may be better at writing, another may be better at coding. A third may not be the smartest, but it may be much cheaper.
Okay.
So saying like a couple months behind is more of an estimate than a clear fact.
But the fact remains that China is getting closer, correct?
Of course, yes. That is the important part. China has not fully caught up with the best US model, but US companies can no longer look back and see China far in the distance.
Oh, so like if we use the analogy of like, let's say a rearview mirror, China is much closer in that mirror.
Exactly. And Kimi is not only powerful, it is open and relatively cheap.
Okay.
That combination can be very attractive to the companies.
I see. So the winner may not always be the smartest one. It's the smartest AI.
Right. Sometimes the winner is the AI that is good enough, cost less, and easiest to use.
Oh, interesting. But you said that AI also caused some real security problems this week.
Ah, yes, that was a disaster. And this story sounds like a science fiction. But it actually happened.
Okay.
During security tests, AI systems reached real outside organization that were not supposed to be part of the test.
Right. So you're talking about AI is becoming a hacker? Is that what you're talking about?
No, not exactly. That is not quite what happened. One case, Claude was being tested inside what was supposed to be the safe practice area.
Yes.
The AI was told everything you see is part of the test.
Okay, so far, so good, right? Yeah.
Yes. But because of the setup mistake, the real internet was still open.
Oh.
So this system went outside the practice area and continued to test on the real systems.
Okay, so somebody basically forgot to close the door.
Exactly. Imagine training a security guard inside a fake shopping mall. You tell the guard, check every door you see.
Right.
But someone leaves the main exit open.
Oops.
The guard walks outside, see the real shop next door, and start checking those doors too.
Oh, no. So the guard thinks that it's still training, but the shop owner certainly does not, right?
Right. That is what makes this serious. The AI did not suddenly become evil.
Right.
It followed the task, but in the wrong places.
Right. So in this case, what did the AI actually do?
The model reached outside website, company systems, and cloud accounts.
Ooh.
In one case, an AI created harmful software. In another case, the AI noticed that something was wrong and reported and stopped.
Okay, well, the fact that the AI stopped and reported itself, that sounds, a little comforting, almost.
A little, but we should not depend on that. Safety cannot be based on the hope that an AI will suddenly say, this feels wrong. The system should block the mistake before it happens.
Ah, okay. Because today's AI can do much more than just answer questions, right?
Exactly. A chatbot only talks, but an AI agent can search, write code, open files, use other programs, and take action. When you give AI model tools, you also give it more weight to make mistakes.
Okay. So, for example, a small mistake in the setup can become a bigger problem on the outside, right?
Yes. It is like giving someone the key to the car. The better the car becomes, the more important the brakes become.
Okay. And so now employees from major AI companies are asking the government to slow things down.
More exactly, they want a way to control to spread when needed. So they're not saying stop AI completely. They are saying that AI development may become too fast for governments and companies to manage it safely.
So the people building the fastest cars are actually asking for speed limits.
Yeah, that is a good way to put it. The problem is that every company worries that someone else will move faster. If one company slows down, another company or another country may move ahead.
Right. So everyone sees a danger, but no one really wants to step on the brakes first.
Exactly. That is why some workers want clear rules that applies to everyone. The lesson is not that AI is evil. The lesson is that powerful AI should not get real-world access without strong walls, clear limits, and a human who can stop it.
Okay. So I'll admit I'm a little confused because AI is becoming more powerful and causing security issues. But at the same time, you said it's getting cheaper.
Yes. OpenAI recently cut the price of some AI models by as much as 80%.
80%? So does that mean that people who pay for the paid services for ChatGPT, that it's going to be 80% cheaper?
Unfortunately, no.
No? That I knew there was something too good to be true, right?
Yeah, the lower price mainly applies to the API.
Oh, okay. So what exactly is this? Because API, I don't know what it is. So can you explain?
API is the... API lets a company put an AI model inside their own services. A travel app may use AI to answer questions.
Okay.
A hospital may use AI to organize medical notes.
Okay.
And a shopping website may use it to write product descriptions.
I see. So the company is not using the AI services like I would, the chatbot services. So it's putting the AI engine inside its own product or service, right?
Exactly. You can think of it as renting the engine. So the engine rental has become cheaper.
And why does that matter?
Because one AI answer may cost very little, but a company may need millions of answers every day. A small price difference can make a very large bill.
Right, because, okay, if we use a simple analogy, let's say coffee, like one cup of coffee is not that expensive, but a million cups, that's expensive.
Exactly. For a long time, AI companies mainly asked who has the smartest model. Now businesses are also asking which model does the job well and cost less.
Ooh, so the AI competition is becoming more of a pricing war?
Yes. Chinese open models such as Kimi are part of that pressure.
Okay.
If companies can get strong AI at a lower cost, American companies must respond.
Okay, so the next AI winner may not be the genius with the highest test score, you're saying.
Yes. It may be the smart worker who does the job well and sends a smaller bill.
Oh, all right. And speaking of lower prices, I hear that OpenAI is giving AI tools to scientists for free. Is this true?
Yes, the program will begin with about 10,000 researchers. It may grow up to 100,000 by next year.
Oh.
Selected scientists will be able to use advanced AI tool free for 1 year.
Okay, so, in theory, what could or what would a scientist actually do with ChatGPT? I mean, I don't know, like discover a new planet or like what are we talking about?
Not quite that easily, but AI can help researchers read many papers, organize data, write computer code, find patterns, and task ideas.
It sounds very much like a research assistant, I have to ask. But basically, never sleeps, right?
Yes, and one who never asks for coffee.
So I'm thinking that alone could actually change the budgets for universities when it comes to research.
Maybe, but the scientists still need to check the work. AI can make a very confident mistake.
Okay. So, I mean, it's fine when, like, an AI chatbot is recommending, like, a restaurant, but it gives you, like, wrong information. But not great when we're talking about serious stuff, like whether it's cancer research or some sort of other science, right?
Exactly. In science, a small error can lead to a false result.
Okay.
So AI can help researchers move faster, but it cannot replace careful checking.
So is this simply what we might call a generous gift from OpenAI, or is there more?
It can help scientists, but it's also a business strategy. If researchers start building their work around one AI platform, they may continue using it later.
So OpenAI is giving away the research assistant today, so to speak, and maybe hopes to become part of the research tomorrow?
That may be part of the plan. Universities, hospitals, research centers, and companies are all important future customers.
That is true. That's the business aspect of it. So if scientists can test ideas faster, that could be beneficial to everyone.
Yes. The program may speed up useful research. But researchers must stay in control of the data, the method, and the final result.
All right. So what do you want to say in closing? Because it's almost time to wrap up. So in short, what do you want to leave our listeners with?
Yeah, Kimi showed that China is getting closer to the U.S. The security cases showed what happened when powerful AI finds an open door.
Right.
Lower price showed that the AI race is now about cost, not only intelligence. And the science program showed that AI is moving deeper into research.
Yes. So it's not just about AI becoming smarter, but it's becoming like it's good enough, but it's reasonably priced and etc. So we're going to call it a wrap for today. But thank you so much for coming in and bringing us these really interesting AI-related stories. We'll check in with you next week. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, it's time to wrap up. So we're going to leave you with this song on this Monday morning because it is so hot. Heat Waves by Glass Animals. Have a safe Monday. Bye, everybody.
Don't stop, baby, you can walk too. Go on, time I think about you, you know that I'm never gonna lose. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. Usually I put something on TV, so we never think about you and me. But today I see our reflections clearly in Hollywood, laying on the screen. You just need a better life than this. You need something I can never give. Fake water all across the road. It's gone now, the night is come. But sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. You can't fight it, you can't breathe. You say something so loving, but now I gotta let you go. You'll be better off in someone new. I don't wanna be alone. You know it hurts me too. You look so broken when you cry. One more and then I say goodbye. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. I just wanna know what you're dreaming of. When you sleep and smile so comfortable. I just wish that I could give you that look that's perfectly unsaid. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights